1v1 on Colony Pharma again. Yet another round 2 game. This is Ahegao Pony versus Sturm Tiger Sage6. We have Sturm Pioneer. I think people don't realize that like you're supposed to have fixed base positions. I'm pretty sure it's fixed base positions in this. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares. All right. SWS half track making its way towards the center. We have Ahegao Pony grabbing some territory with his conscripts. Combat engineers grabbing the strategic point. Conscripts will be firing on SWS half-track. Stern Pioneers making their way around to grab the munitions. It looks like the SWS is going to attempt to destroy this building. It will sustain a little bit of damage in the process, but the building is about to go down. Just a little more damage. And there it goes any second. Folks Grenadiers moving up to take the strategic point. These Folks Grenadiers grabbing the fuel. They will engage some combat engineers here in the south. I think Folks Grenadiers will have the advantage. And Sturm Pioneers potentially in the retreat path, so that combat engineer squad is actually in a lot of danger right now. The SWS does successfully take out the building and is now squeaking out. Folks Grenadiers taking the munitions point. Conscripts taking some stuff there as well. It looks like the Stern Pioneers in the retreat path could have been microed a little bit better. He didn't chase quite as effectively as he could have, but ultimately I don't think he could have wiped that squad no matter what he did. He could have probably gotten 2 more models. He could have probably killed 2 more models though if he had been a little better about how he chased that squad. Folks Grenadiers will be able to take all the territory here in the south, and we have a reinforced steel barricade going up there, so that's no longer going to be an option as far as flanking routes are concerned.
Supply sector. Ready! Mission accomplished.
Folks Grenadiers there will be forced away. Meanwhile, these conscripts successfully cut Sage off from his resources in the south, and these conscripts are going to successfully take the munitions there. Sage is up to his 4th squad of Folks Grenadiers now, and his SWS is moving to set up. Every time I've ever faced Sage, he always sets up his SWS like right here with the battle group headquarters. So I think that's probably what he's going to try and do once he pushes away these conscripts. There they go, successfully retaking his cutoff. SWS hovering in this area. He will be going with the battle group headquarters. I'm like 100% certain of that. And I really disagree with Sage's placement of his battle group headquarters on this map, leaving it extremely vulnerable to AT gun fire from over here, because AT guns can fire through these hedges. If you take a look at the different coloration on these trees, these like darker green ones, AT guns can fire through. This lighter green patch of trees, AT guns cannot fire through. So that's something to keep in mind when you are assaulting these positions with a Jackson or any other kind of AT weapon. Flamethrowers engaging some Folks Grenadiers here. Taking heavy damage from flamethrowers, and he will be forced to retreat there. Battle group headquarters is going up. Exactly where I thought it was going to. Folks Grenadiers grabbing that strategic point. Folks Grenadiers here will circle around to take that north fuel unopposed. Ooh, that Folks Grenadier squad taking massive damage. Oh, wiped by conscripts in the house on the retreat. Look at that. I wonder if he manually targeted that retreating squad or if that was just random. Random good luck. He probably manually targeted that. Nice play by Ahegao Pony, and that is a full Folks Grenadier squad down. Meanwhile, these Stern Pioneers cannot benefit from the green cover there. That's too close to those windows to benefit from green cover, and he was taking massive damage. He should have instead stood on the east side of the building, so that only one conscript could have fired on him. He didn't engage very cost effectively there. All these squads being forced to retreat, however, and the right side harassment continues, or the north harassment continues to go unopposed. And the OKW map control situation is looking quite good. MG34 is being fielded as well, making this a very difficult position to assault, although losing that full squad of Volksgrenadiers certainly hurts, but Ahegao Pony is now floating 600 manpower and needs to start fielding more units. I think he might be waiting until he hits 2 command points to bring in heavy mortars and guard rifles. Molotov going out there, but those Stern Pioneers close in on those conscripts in red cover, and they will immediately be forced to retreat. Munitions do successfully get taken by Sage in the south. MG34 continues to whittle away at those conscripts, but it's taking some time. Volksgrenadiers have those conscripts surrounded on both sides. We'll be able to whittle them down eventually. Stern Pioneers here do have a minesweeper as well, and are taking that strategic point. Ahegao Pony now losing territory on all fronts. Really needs to make a successful push somewhere.
Contact! Infantry! Field promotion! Incoming fire!
Nasty series of flame crits. He's being way too bold with that Panzerschreck squad. He can't afford to just leave that on the front lines fighting a flamethrower and hope for the best. If he were to lose that, it would be devastating. Heavy mortar is on the field, but it's immediately forced to retreat by a Stern Pioneer push. Meanwhile, pretty aggressive MG34 usage here in the north on his opponent's fuel, and the Oberkommando West player has the entire map under his control. Soviets desperately needed to do something to get themselves out of this situation. Guard rifles have been fielded, heavy mortars on the field now. The next push really needs to succeed, or he's going to find himself in a hole that he probably won't be able to dig himself out of. MG34 firing, suppressing this push. Volksgrenadiers will maintain control of the north, center. Looks like Stern Pioneers were pushed away. Heavy mortar moving up, guards moving up, conscripts moving up. Conscripts in the house, continuing to give Ahegao Pony vision over the area. Heavy mortar probably going to start bombarding this house next, unless he has vision of the battle group headquarters, which he does not, and it's not on the mini-map, and I don't know if that means he hasn't seen it or not. I don't know how observer mode works. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he's obviously seen it. He's bombarding it with his heavy mortar now.
Continue with rocket fire!
34 is firing on the church. Guard rifles force away conscripts over here, but an MG34 is taking up a position in this house. Guards do have the munitions for a grenade. Ahegao sitting on about 120. He could throw a grenade on that, potentially, well, probably only wiping a few models. I don't know, it's a little bit damaged. Who knows what might happen. Tier 4 has been constructed by Sage in the south, now making this a very difficult position to assault. Again, kind of disagree with the placement of his trucks. Super vulnerable to AT gun fire there. But, of course, it depends on what Ahegao Pony decides to do. He is not tier anything, has built no tech structures, so no field gun from him. He's using purely his heavy mortar to bombard those trucks. And, he should be able to bombard them relatively safely, considering the mortar's long range, but again, he has to defend his mortar's position. It's just kind of letting Volksgrenadiers walk up and force him to retreat over and over again. It's problematic. Grenade going out! 3 models wiped. Could have been worse.
Mission accomplished. Incoming fire! Ready!
Sage throws a grenade there, doesn't really connect. Soviets taking some territory back in the north, slowly but surely.
This territory is
second squad of guard rifles has been fielded. Wait, what happened to Sage's other machine gun? He had 2. I think the one in this house got wiped. Yeah, I think that got wiped. I didn't even see that happen. That's a big win for the Soviets, who's actually doing much better than Sage for unit preservation now, having wiped 2 squads. But the Lux is on the field. Hopefully 2 squads of guards will be sufficient to repel it. Firing on this flamethrower squad. It's going to pose a significant threat to that heavy mortar. There's a squad of guards here. Squad of conscripts there, but there's no AT grenade research yet. It is cooking now, once again being purchased reactively. Fortunately, the purchase time is very short, and Sage is not being particularly aggressive with that. He definitely could have like gone full ham on that heavy mortar when he made his entrance. Since it's so common for opponents to tech AT grenades reactively, you can pretty much just dive straight in with your Lux once it hits the field and just get that free like 30 seconds of just blasting everything at close range before the AT grenade research completes. Probably not the best idea in a tourney game though. Sage is now really struggling for map control. Things have really turned around for him. Losing those 2 full squads is a problem. Struggling to keep up at this point. The Lux will help, especially if he can get a good squad wipe on retreat, but he's not being overly aggressive chasing, and he of course does have to be mindful of Soviet mines. That being said, he's been very good about using his minesweeper there in the left side, clearing everything out, or potentially clearing things out. Guards will reposition to fire on the Lux. Make it a button off here. There it is. Vehicle buttoned. AT grenade went off too. Oh, but they hadn't quite fully rounded the corner, and the button gets canceled, and they're taking massive damage. Plus, they're suppressed by the machine gun in the building. He needs to get 2 more PTRS shots off at range. I don't think it's going to happen for him. Not while suppressed, anyway. Nope. There he goes. Meanwhile, the heavy mortar is dealing devastating damage to that church, and if he doesn't get the MG34 out of that building soon, he could lose another full squad, which is something Sage probably can't afford. He really needs to keep this machine gun alive. I just heard the heavy mortar fire. If it does connect with this building, this machine gun will go down. Fortunately, it does get out of the, oh, that wasn't even aimed at the building. I don't know where that just fired, but it wasn't at the building, so never mind. It's firing there, apparently, for some reason. Flamethrower engaging these Volksgrenadiers, but not going too well. They are forced to retreat. No lucky flame crits, and Sage will be able to take the north fuel point once again.
Anti-tank gun is ready for action. Guard squad ready. The sector is at risk.
And Ahegao Pony has teched tier 2. So he can bring in a field gun, and he has. Going to be using that to help deal with the Lux, hopefully. As far as Sage, he's up to 115 fuel now, meaning his Panther is still several minutes away. Probably going to be arriving at 18 to 20 minutes, somewhere in that range, depending on how map control goes. If it'll be more like 18 minutes if he can maintain control of the north fuel, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen with these 2 squads on their way to push him away. Armor-piercing rounds going out on those conscripts, but he is in red cover. The conscripts are in green cover. He's also taking heavy mortar fire. Every one of those has the potential to wipe that squad. Obersoldaten moving up. Try and succeed where that machine gun failed. Lux has also been repaired and is pushing away conscripts there. In the south, victory point. Field gun doesn't really have any support. He has to be very careful with that. He needs to screen it with conscripts at all times. Don't lose this. Don't lose this. Please. What are you doing? Pay attention. Field gun firing. Does get a shot off on the Lux there. And it will be forced to pull back.
Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector.
Those guards are leaping out of cover to their doom. So Obersoldaten just laser beaming everything down. MG34 set up here, shutting down all these pushes. It looks like this field gun is finally being set up to fire on that Schwer Panzer headquarters, which is actually well out of its range. I think that was just a random stray scatter that like somehow managed to connect there. Heavy mortar firing on the machine gun, but the armor-piercing rounds may take the AT gun crew out. It's so unsupported. What is he doing with that thing? Meanwhile, oh no, the Lux has just dived right behind enemy lines and cleared the heavy mortar out, which means it will not be able to clear out that machine gun, and that field gun is toast if it doesn't reposition now. Meanwhile, a conscript squad just went down too. He's just taking massive losses. Its engine is damaged. It looks like he's not even going to try to escape from the situation he's in. He has a damaged engine, and instead he's just going to try and wipe these squads. And it looks like he may be successful here. Everything is being forced to retreat, trying to take out the heavy mortar before it can retreat once again. Only one model remaining, and there it goes. Obersoldaten managed to finish it off. These guards desperately trying to finish off the Lux, but the Soviet has lost so much. He's in a desperate situation. Man, Sage just stole his heavy mortar.
A sector has been cut off.
T-34-85s are now Ahegao Pony's only hope. But he's still 20 fuel away and has only 7 coming in. And Sage's Panther is going to be here before they are. Which is bad. Especially since this is here. Fortifications doctrine, very popular. This patch, from what I can see.
Awaiting command. Fresh meat has arrived. Guard squad ready.
Soviet definitely had an early advantage wiping those 2 squads without taking any squad wipes in return, but he just didn't capitalize on it enough. For a brief moment he had great map control, but as soon as that Lux hit the field, he was just not ready. I think he could have done that one engagement where he messed up his button a little better. He definitely could have done that engagement better.
Now this land.
The enemy has taken our supply sector.
Fresh field gun. Whatever happened to the other one? I guess I don't see it. I think it probably got salvaged. Yeah, Sage probably salvaged it.
We are ready to go, comrades.
Enemy forces are capturing our
This Lux
supplies.
has 27 kills and his Vet 2. It's just
We are taking losses.
destroying everything.
We have an isolated sector.
Meanwhile, these Obersoldaten are laser beaming everything to death over here in the north.
We are bleeding, comrades.
They have 20
Sector has
kills.
been cut off.
They're doing almost as well as it looks.
We are awaiting orders. Comrades incoming.
And that stolen heavy mortar isn't doing the Soviet player any favors
200
either.
points remain.
1 full minute until the T-34-85s arrive at the current fuel income. PTRSs will force the Lux away. But they're getting bled really hard.
We have a new T-34 standing by.
But the T-34-85s have hit the field, finally. He desperately needs to impact Sage harder than that looks impacted him to have any chance of coming back from the situation he's in right now, but I feel like this Pack 43 is going to make that very difficult, and I don't think Ahegao Pony even knows that Sage went fortifications, let alone that he has a Pack 43 sitting by his truck. Although he does know there's NG-34s and the odds of Luftwaffe are slim. Just out of range. Gets a couple nice shots off there. Making a good effort to retake the north here, being very, playing very safe. Not going to dive into his opponent's base or anything yet. Although I'm sure he would really like to get revenge on that looks if possible. Mine's going down. Gets a shot off on the looks as it pokes its head out.
Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector.
Just now doing some weird maneuvering. T-34s. Catch those Stern Pioneers. Ooh, that could have been a squad wipe if they had been a little bit more clumped there. It looks like he might try and chase that. He needs to get these lucky squad wipes now or he won't have a chance of coming back. Oh no, he hit the shoe mine and got engine destroyed. That is not good. Sage's... Well, I was about to say Sage's Panther is gonna be here soon, but actually I don't know what he's planning. He would have purchased it by now if he was going to get one. I think he might be going straight for King Tiger. Yeah, he's gonna go straight for King Tiger. Wow, okay. It's a bold move. Apparently a devastating Molotov right there just killed a ton of Volksgrenadiers though. And because of his decision to go straight for King Tiger, that T-34 is going to live. I think that was a mistake.
We have fallen to 100 points. Do not let this trend continue. Your predecessor died.
King Tiger being produced now. Quite a bit of manpower bleed on those Volksgrenadiers. Every single one of them brought down to one man. As far as Vet 3 and Vet 2, variously between the squads, slowly reinforcing them after making that big manpower purchase from the King Tiger. A lot of missed opportunities really by both players in that regard. T-34 will survive as well as a lot of squads that maybe potentially could have been wiped. And a King Tiger supported by a Pack 43 is almost impossible to destroy with medium armor. Any attempt at a push just gets punished. That's why it's quite important to destroy the Pack 43 with indirect fire before making any such attempt. Fortunately, Guard Motor Coordination does have access to the heavy mortar. He may want to purchase a new one to try and bombard that position. Unfortunate that he lost his initial one. It's already up to Vet 1 and has 7 kills in enemy hands. He's getting into the range of that Pack 43, and now he knows that his opponent has one. So he will have to play very safe. Conscripts taking massive damage from the looks and various stuff. Volksgrenadiers will be forced to retreat. T-34 is attacking ground. Force them away. Meanwhile, Volksgrenadiers will try to take the center victory point once again. T-34 85s will force the Volksgrenadiers away. Guards are going to take their turn at the victory point now. Combat Engineers making their way back towards the center to repair. But the King Tiger's here. Don't think, well, I don't know. I don't think Ahegao Pony is really necessarily ready for it, but he does have a field gun. He does have the munitions from Mark Vehicle. so it can't do anything too crazy. Heavy mortars just tearing those guards to shreds. Fresh Volks Grenadiers making their way to the front line, and Obersoldaten in the back to support. Lots of veterancy getting up on those Volks Grenadiers every time they get a shot off with their Panzerschreck as well. And a full squad of combat engineers just went down to that King Tiger. The field gun is repositioning through red cover, taking a bunch of damage. The King Tiger is trying to take out the T-34. It's not quite enough damage though. Field gun turning to fire. Does a little damage, but it gets cleared.
One of our AT guns has been neutralized.
And the T-34s both have to desperately pull back for repairs, but there are no combat engineers on the field, and Ahegao Pony is desperate for manpower, even without having to repurchase his combat engineer squad.
They see us!
You are showing weakness.
Because he just fielded a fresh heavy mortar to destroy the Pak-43. But again, he's had such a severe manpower shortage, he really needed to get some squad wipes earlier. Now that King Tiger's on the field, his window of opportunity is kind of closed. Obersoldaten laser beaming the heavy mortar down. There it goes. They might even get that guard squad on retreat. Nope, he's repositioning. Field gun gets cleared once again. The T-34s have almost been fully repaired using self-repair, although that has pretty much destroyed all of Ahegao Pony's munitions. He has none left. And the field gun is about to get stolen or salvaged. Grenade forces those conscripts to retreat, and he will salvage.
We are awaiting orders.
Our territory is falling into enemy hands.
Transport ready.
We are as ready as we can. Enemy forces capturing supply sector.
Volks Grenadiers taking the north victory point. Obersoldaten will retreat away from that T-34. This one's been repaired, circling around up towards the north, trying to get a lucky squad wipe on those Volks Grenadiers, which he desperately needs. Heavy mortar does get recovered by conscripts and is retreating now. Guards have also been reinforced and are making their way back to the front lines. DPs do some nice damage to the Stern Pioneers, and they're forced to retreat. Unfortunately, he didn't get a squad wipe on those Volks Grenadiers over there on the right side. They will make it away unharmed. Meanwhile, the victory points are ticking away. Only 32 remaining for the Soviet player.
We have been reduced to 25 points. Failure is not rewarded.
20 points now remain. No chance. No chance of more T-34s hitting the field in time. 14 points.
The enemy is about to defeat us. Supply sector under attack.
Desperate final charge. And those guard rifles ends pretty much how you would expect it to. T-34s can't do anything. 4 points remaining. Sage taking the north victory point. And that will conclude the game. Well played by Sage. GG.